Okay, well, I'm the governor of Ohio. I've been elected to my second term. Ohio's gone from $8 billion in the hole to a $2 billion surplus. We've cut taxes by almost $5 billion. Our small businesses will pay virtually no income tax. We've killed the death tax, and we've grown 347,000 private sector jobs. Our credit is strong, our pensions are strong, and Ohio is diversified. We are, and you know, the things we do there can be scaled for the country. I was also years ago, I was chairman of the Budget Committee in Washington. I was the chief architect of the last time we balanced the federal budget, the first time we had done it since man walked on the moon. Our economy was growing. People had jobs the same way they've got jobs in Ohio. So I'm running for president because I want to take the skills I have to balance our budget, reduce taxes, common sense regulations, bring the business profits back from Europe, give businesses an incentive to invest in plant and equipment, and shift a heck of a lot of power, money, and influence out of Washington to where we live. Well, I have an economic plan that would provide for a balanced budget by the end of a second term. It involves tax cuts to a top rate of 28% for individuals, a lowering of the capital gains tax, lower taxes on business to give them the incentives to invest in plant and equipment so workers can make more money. The program includes a little bit more spending, a lot more spending on the military, but freezing all non-defense discretionary money, slowing the growth of Medicaid and Medicare, and getting ourselves in a position of where we can grow this economy while at the same time we reduce expenses, as I've outlined, but also tax cuts that will provide the economic growth we need. No different than what I did in Washington and no different than what I've done in Ohio. The way you get to a balanced budget and paying down debt is you grow an economy and you reduce your expenses, and the two come together, and voila, it's working, you're creating jobs, and you're balancing budgets. I would freeze all major regulation for a year, and I would force the Congress to vote on any regulations more than $100 million, and we're create a court of common sense where a business can actually go to an independent group that can join with them against the agency or the department that's putting out rules that really don't make any sense. In my state, we created the Common Sense Initiative where we begin to repeal silly rules. The same philosophy ought to be implied at the federal level because you have a situation where regulations can kill jobs, and we can't afford to do that. And you know, I just think it's very important that we realize we can't willy-nilly impose regulations on companies without it having profound effects. Doesn't mean we should have no regulations. It's just that those regulations ought to benefit us more than they cost us. And if they don't, then I think the regulation is by and large out of line. Yeah, we need to absolutely improve our K through 12 education system by bringing measurement to the schools, introducing curriculums to students at young ages to find out what they're motivated to do, to be strong advocates of school choice, including charter schools and vouchers, and to put our students in a position of where they graduate from high school as they enter, whether it's a community college or whether it is a four-year school, that they have a program to graduate for something where a job exists. And I believe it's also important for states to be able to produce job training programs that customize what it is that an employer needs. We're not only up 347,000 jobs in Ohio, and our credit is strong, but at the same time, we've put a big emphasis on workforce, including, by the way, reintroducing vocational education. So if you have a strong workforce and you have all the other economic conditions, you're going to have real strength and real success in your economy. One other area that I'd like to add on that, and that is I want to transfer the job training programs from Washington into the states so that each state can tailor their own programs to train workers to keep them on the job rather than being in a position of where you have to lose your job before you can get the training that you need. Training is important, adult education, all the way through. There's so many things that need to be done, but they can all be done if we're creative at the state level. Well, we need to have an emphasis on quality, not on quantity medicine. In other words, we need to use the marketplace to incentivize our primary care doctors to guide us through the system so that we can get quality at lower prices. And we need to have transparency with our healthcare providers, with our physicians, and we have to work hand in hand to make sure that it's not quantity that's rewarded in America, which is what it is today, but really quality, so that there are absolute rewards to go to all those folks who are involved in healthcare to make sure that we are treated to keep us healthy rather than rewarded when we're treated when we're sick.